I am down in some type of creek. It is May. Oh, dead fish! Oh god! Okay. Okay, all of a sudden I'm regretting this, and I think I spotted a diaper also. And there's lots of fish, just like, you probably can't see them. Oh, they're everywhere. Okay, I'm fine with the little fish, but it's just when they're dead, it kind of freaks me out. And I've been here before, and I know that there's leeches. So, anyways, I just wanted to see how the water felt on May something, 9th, 8th, and it feels really good. Ugh. Now there's sand all over me. I didn't really think this through. I just really wanted to get in the water, so it felt good. I seem to be doing a lot of outdoor videos. Well, one, that's my second, but I like this because it's so nice and relaxing. Oh, spider! Oh my god, there's a spider on me. I feel like they're all over me now. Okay, they're not. Okay, I'm evil. I'm burying the spider. It's gonna come right back out and like bite me. Because I'm in the sand dunes by myself and it's kind of nice. So I thought I'd talk about my chemo experience out here. I firsthand know how frightening it is to listen to other people's stories and be like, holy crap, like I'm gonna go through that. I don't even want to hear about it because it's just gonna freak me out. And if you're one of those people, turn off this video, it's fine. Like I have no hard feelings if you want to do that, because I totally understand. And I know there have been people who have warned me to not tell everything, but I think that kind of defeats the purpose of why I made this channel, is because I'm trying to help people and to prepare people for what they're about to endure. So personally, I found that yes, it freaked me out, but it definitely helped me. And just to know that people, when I ended up going through chemo and it did end up, you know, not the best situation, not the best experience, it helps to know that people had gone through it as well and had made it through it. Even though it does seem like a really rough time, it does make you stronger for sure. So, and I do want to share a little story. Yesterday, I went to the grocery store. I was picking up some things for my grandma, and I never go to this grocery store, so I was just there, quick in and out, and in line behind me, there was a lady with a PICC line, and she was wearing a bandana. As soon as I saw her, you know, the instinct of a survivor seeing another patient is like, you want to help them, or you want to talk to them and see like how they're doing or what type of cancer they have and kind of relate to them. I never know what to say, but I always want to say something. So we were in line and she put down all her stuff on the little conveyor belt thingy, whatever. What is it called? I don't, what am I thinking? The table that goes and then the person scans it, whatever. She put it on and her shampoo bottle was like wavering, and I like picked it up because it was almost falling, and I just caught it in time. I was like, whoo, almost lost it. And she said, oh yeah, I guess it's feeling about how I'm feeling right now. So funny to me because I've gone through it, but not so funny. The grocery store checkout lady, she turns to the lady and says, oh, what happened to your arm? You've got a boo-boo? And I wanted to laugh, but at the same time I felt really, really bad for the lady because I knew exactly, like I've gone through that exact situation where people, you know, ask, oh, did you burn your arm or whatever? Like right there, there's a little scar type thing. That's where it is. And then you have pretty much like mesh white thing covering it. And then I eventually used a sock. And this lady was wearing one, and I kind of, as soon as the grocery store clerk said that, I turned to her and I said, oh, it's a PICC line, right? And she said, yeah. I said, oh, I had one too. And so I was glad that that happened, only because I got a chance to start a conversation with her. She said, oh, the grocery store is the worst place to go because so many people just stop and stare at you and all this stuff. And she said something about kids, and I said, oh, I know, because I used to have to explain it to kids all the time, and I found that really difficult, and definitely the staring. She replied that, you know, she never explains it to kids, and I just kind of said, well, I worked with kids, and, you know, they would always ask why I have really short hair, why I have no eyelashes and all this stuff. So it would be hard not to explain to them, because I just wanted to tell them the truth and not say like, oh, I want it like this, I cut my eyelashes off. And she said she had breast cancer. I just told her you have to keep positive, and that I said that, like, I'm proof that you can get through it. So, I mean, I hope I helped a little bit, but it's really hard and it's a little awkward because I do want to help everybody, but at the same time, I have to remember that some people don't want help, or some people, I don't know, they find it awkward talking to a stranger, which is completely understandable. I just thought it was cool that, I got to talk to a cancer patient in my community, and I asked her, if she went to the same hospital as me, and she does, and I thought that was pretty cool. So I wished her the best of luck, and that was it. Back to my chemo story. This is just a quick one because I did make a better one, so I'll just make a really quick one. So basically, when I went in for chemo, my first chemo I was super nervous for, and I didn't know what to expect other than what my oncologist told me, which the goose wants to be in the video. Hey, goose! I don't know why I'm calling it like a dog. So I got in the chemo suite, and like I was my happy-go-lucky self, like, okay, I'm gonna get through this, and my whole family was there to support me, which was amazing. And it was fine. I went through it. I spent probably 4 hours in there because this was my first one. It would be like probably double the length, just because the nurses were really good. They were explaining everything that was happening, like every drug they put in me. They were like, this is the one that makes you lose your hair and you're going to feel really sick from this. And they did say that like it is a really harsh chemo, like the ABVD is really harsh on your veins. So like if you felt any pain going, like when the drug was administered and all this, to let them know, and you had to let them know if there was any burning or anything that was, felt abnormal. So I never really had issue with that, other than eventually my veins did harden, and because I just wanted the chemo peripherally, I never wanted a PICC line, I never wanted a port, so I didn't get it initially, which means I was having the chemo drugs through a needle directly into my vein. But because my veins were so hard because of the chemo, I did end up getting a PICC line. I didn't have many chemos left when they decided that I should probably get a PICC line, because it took them at least 15 pokes for them to find a vein the one time, because my veins were so hard. The port I wanted to get because you can swim in it, and it was summertime, so it was really hot. Plus with chemo you got hot flashes. I don't know about every chemo, but my chemo, I got legit hot flashes, and I need to share this moment with you. There's geese. Do you see them swimming? Ah, there's two. There's one right there and right there. Those are my friends that were honking to get in the video. They made it. You made it. I'll send you your check in the mail. I'll send you on a wild goose chase for your check. Get it? Where was I? So I wanted a port, but because the waiting list was so long, it would have been 2 months before I got a port. So I decided to just get a PICC line, which, as I said, went into my arm, and it went all the way up into almost my heart. And I only had a few chemos left, so I thought it was kind of pointless, but I mean, I didn't want the nurses to keep poking me because it was getting really painful, and I was getting really upset that the chemo was taking so long, because after my third chemo, I don't think it was my second, I think it was my third chemo, I started getting sick before I would even receive treatment. So as soon as I would walk in the hospital, I'd have to run to the bathroom, and that sucked. And then every chemo, it kept getting worse. The worst part for me about chemo was the nausea. I had so many drugs I was on that was supposed to prevent the nausea, but they weren't working. I had like Ativan and some other things, Stemetil, stuff like that. But those didn't seem to really do much, and I was supposed to take them, before, during, and after, and they didn't really do anything. So I eventually, with 2 chemos left, I found a better cocktail of drugs, as they call them, which basically means they try and find a different combination of drugs that will help you specifically, because, you know, every person's different and drugs work differently in different people. So you have to kind of, it's trial and error with the doctors. They have to kind of see what works for your body and what doesn't. I did IV Gravol, which it's supposed to get rid of, you know, the sick feeling and like make you sleep. And it did, but then as soon as, like, I wouldn't sleep through my entire chemo because it was so long. So as soon as I would wake up, it was just like, it didn't really, it was just a gross feeling overall being in the chemo suite. It was after I started developing the anticipatory nausea, because that's the thing that made it the worst. Was it's little things, like I would have to pick whether I would be in a chair or a bed, and I know it doesn't sound like a big deal, but I had to think what would make me feel less nauseous that day. And it sounds really weird, but I would, like when I was in the hospital bed, it would make me feel more nauseous sometimes because I was in a hospital bed. Like, I knew that I was in the hospital and I felt like a patient, and it didn't feel like a good setting, and then it just would make me uneasy and all this stuff just because I'd been in a hospital bed so many times receiving chemo. So like, and then the chair started making me feel that way too, because, you know, you're sitting in that big comfy chair, but it's not so comfy anymore when you're throwing up every 5 minutes. Even now, it's so weird. They have little TVs in the chemo suite that you can watch to distract yourself, which is very, like, it's awesome. But I found, this is really, really strange. I don't know if any of you have come across this at all, but when I would watch certain shows, like still to this day, Golden Girls, that would always be on when I was getting my chemo. And first I liked it and it would keep me calm, and then all of a sudden, like, I think my brain, because, you know, I'm in psychology, because my brain like attached the show to how I was feeling. Every time I see that show now, I have to switch it off. Like, I can't watch Golden Girls now, which is very strange. I am conditioned to never like Golden Girls. I will post the next video about my chemo experience that I videotaped at home a few weeks ago. I'm so bad. I don't post because I don't edit. But anyway, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'm sorry if it scared you, but please don't be scared. It's something that you just have to get through, and then once you're through it, it definitely makes you stronger because you know you've gotten through it and you did it and you're a survivor. So if you want to talk more about it, or if you're feeling the same things that I felt, then definitely like message me and we can talk. Pain is temporary, and you know, that feeling of being nauseous and all that, that's all temporary. So you just have to get through it. So I'll see you soon. Bye!